Man Cave Monday! All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Man Cave Monday, and we are rolling right in to 2024. This will be our first episode of 2024. If you made it to the new year with us, thank you. We appreciate you. And if not, and you're new here, welcome aboard. Have a seat, hit subscribe, and let's have some fun. Who I got with me today? Just a few good men. You know what I'm saying? I got my brother Dex with me. I got my brother Dre with me. And maybe somebody else will pop in a minute. Who knows? You never know here on Man Cave. You know what I'm saying? Catch this double dutch in and out of this mofo. So, today we're going to largely talk about a media darling, a very popular guy. His name is Shanon Sharpe. We all know him. Most of us love him and what he does.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
You be talking about that diamond. I don't think that's really gonna work. The point of her being a stallion, it supersedes anything that you saying. Are you scared?
No, but hey, I have a stretched out like a quarter to three. You know what I mean, Ocho? Don't play with me. Ocho, you better stop playing with me, Ocho. Huh?
According to what?
A quarter to three. Do it to it three ways, Ocho. Deep, hard, and continuously. You know what I'm saying? That's all I got for Ocho.
Meg, I know you're gonna see this.
Meg ain't gonna see nothing. We gonna edit this out.
Man, listen, Meg, Unc right here, man. I'll let him. He's shooting his shot.
Ain't no shooting no shots. Man, look here, man. We just having some fun, Ocho. We just chewing the fat.
Yeah, that's how it started. It started with fun.
I'm opening up like saloon doors. You better stop that. Well, y'all don't know about O'Shea. Boy, O'Shea was hell when he was way up.
Shanon Sharpe was under fire a while back because he said some things about a young lady who is a megastar. His co-host asked him, as you saw in the video there, you know, about this young lady and would he be able to basically handle this young lady? And he said some things that people thought was unsavory. If you don't know, there was lots and lots of backlash after this video. A lot of people came for Shanon Sharpe, and so much so that he had to put out another video talking about it. In his other video, he basically apologized. He said, you know, I thought I was just joking with my friend. I thought we were just having a good time, and y'all went wild with it. I don't understand why y'all did that. I thought this was a safe place, and, you know, it was just jokes. I apologize if she was offended. I apologize to anybody. And really, I wish we edited it out, like I said in the first clip. And I'm summarizing. That's not word for word what he said. I'm paraphrasing. But that's basically what he said. It made me think of a lot of different things when I saw this clip. And I wanted to bring some of those things here to y'all. My first question is, in 2024, is locker room talk dead? For those who don't know what locker room talk is, it's usually raw, masculine, foul shit that's said in jest, in joking term, with the fellas in the locker room. You say wild, flagrant shit because it's a circle of trust, so to speak. You with your squad, you can say whatever you want. The question is, that's my first question, is locker room talk dead in 2024? Talk about it, fellas.
Well, I mean, I don't really think so. I feel like, well, I hate saying yes and no because it really does depend on who you in that locker room with. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if I just happen to be in a company of men and just like, okay, we all have penises, that's not enough for me to just be crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's not enough for me to, put on the mantra of crazy Drazy. You know what I mean? Where I'm just going to say the wildest things and, not care.
I salute that. Absolutely.
Like if you're not somebody who I really, really know, just the fact that you have a penis isn't enough for me to just be talking all out of my mouth crazy like, because I don't know you like that. You know what I mean? So I think that that's the biggest problem, is that people assume that, hey, we all men, so this makes it cool, right? No, it got to be more than just, your pee-pee parts. Like, what's the relationship you have with those dudes? Now, if it's my dudes, right? It's like cats I've been rolling with 20 years or better, and we around, and we in my apartment, or they, in their apartment, or we hanging out in some crazy hotel somewhere. We went on a little vacation or something. Somebody break out the Bacardi and we just start wilding out. Yeah, it's gonna have, like, I know everybody in here. Like, this is, this is what's, rather than being a locker room, this is a safe space. And a safe space means, you could do whatever you want to do in that space. Hey, we could say crazy jokes about each other. We could have a deep conversation. We could pull out each other's penises and measure whatever it is. Hey, it's safe. Nobody gonna say anything. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. That's what y'all wanted to do?
Put you into that last one.
Well, that's the crazy Drazy part.
One,
the Drazy
I'm a little scared right now. You know what I'm saying?
The Drazy. He says those
That's crazy Drazy.
I don't know something that do. But on the real, it's like you could, in that space, you can literally do anything and everything is okay. And I got like tons of those kinds of stories. So it was just like, yo, this dude is wilding, but you know what? You could do that here, and we're gonna make sure you're good at the end of the day, and take you, make sure you get home to your lady and your family, and whatever happened there, happened here. You ain't gotta worry about it. You know what I mean? So I really think it's all about the people. And so, with that being said, once a camera is on and there's like microphones and lights and everything, that's not a safe space. I'm sorry. It's just not. If you got like mics dropping down from the ceiling and people behind, and there's a key grip and all this other stuff happening, this is not a safe space. This is a production. And with that being said, you should act like it's a production. So that's the way I see it. Anyway.
Okay. Well said. All right, Dex, what's your thoughts, brother?
100% agree with everything Crazy Drazy just said. All right, I think like, look, I think we're all gentlemen here. You know what I mean? And we carry ourselves like that in the street. You know what I mean? How we talk to people and how we behave in the street. Absolutely know that about both of you guys. But if I'm with my closest friends who I could open up and be a complete degenerate with, I'm gonna be a degenerate. But no one else will ever see that. You know what I mean? No one else will ever see that. I carry myself properly and like a gentleman in front of others. That was one of the biggest things, like working at because I working at Equinox. I was a trainer there for many years, right? Mm-hmm. And this new wave of dudes just talking any old way in front of women. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In a way that I would never say. Some of the stuff I would never say. But it's a new wave. I'm older. Maybe that's a different generation that acting a little wilder. I would never say that stuff in front of them. You know what I mean? I wouldn't talk that in front of my friends and close dudes. Yeah, absolutely. And also I agree with Dre on this too. I don't know you, and we're sitting in the bar, and you try to get my attention. Look at that girl. I don't know you, man. I agree with nothing you say. I ain't even looking that way. You know what I mean? I'm not even looking at you. I don't know you. I'm not jumping in and agreeing. Hey, look at that girl. I ain't doing none of that stuff like that. Not at all. You know what I mean? I don't know you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna mess with you at all. You know? It reminds me of seeing this along these lines. Like you be on the train, see some pervert, like watching a woman go up the stairs, like watch it, and when you look at them, they look at you. Like, don't look at me. I have nothing to do with that. Right. Keep me out of your perv stuff. I'm watching you be a perv. Don't look at me like as if you want my approval. I ain't give you no approval.
And I might even tell you, nigga, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah. So I'm looking. Don't look at me like that. I'm watching you be a pervert. Right. You know what I mean? You look at me like you want approval. No approval, man. That's what I mean. Yeah. So I 100% agree with everything Dre said. There's no reason. I'm not going to say nothing that I'm a degenerate with my closest friends. I could say the most debased, crazy things, the most perverse things with my friend, my real people. You know what I mean? Right. I'm not saying that I'll carry myself a different way. And I love Shanon, but he thought he was joking. He can't joke like that now, man. You just can't joke like that. Hilarious what he said, but you can't joke like that now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think it may have been a little bit easier for him if he was like a career comedian. You know what I mean? So
mhm,
if Dave Chappelle was on that show
Right.
and said
mhm.
all the same things, we'd have been like, yo,
Yeah, it'd
Dave
just be
is
jokes.
crazy,
Crazy,
man.
yeah.
Dave is wild. Because
If
you just
Tracy Morgan was there,
yeah,
if Tracy
exactly.
Morgan said that,
Yeah.
Right.
we would have
You
been
know,
hilarious. But
yeah, right. It would have been crazy funny. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I'll
Right.
lay her out. I'll lay her
stretch it to
out.
a
Right.
quarter to three. You
Quarter
know
to
what I
three.
mean? Somebody get
Right.
I don't
pregnant.
care.
You know what
She
I
gonna
mean?
get pregnant.
Yeah,
She
she gonna
get
get
pregnant.
pregnant. When do my mating call? Take his shirt off.
Right. And we would have been like, that's Trey, right? We know him to be a career
Yeah,
comedian. So
yeah.
everything you say is going to be seen as he's doing a stand-up, he's doing a little set, he's doing a little joint. So
Mhm,
yeah, the problem with Shannon and you know, Shannon is incredibly funny, you know what I mean? Like incredibly
mhm,
entertaining. But we don't know you as a comedian. You know, we know
mhm,
you as the straight shooter. That's been your whole thing. That's your whole
Right.
signature. I'm a straight shooter type dude. I'm gonna get on here, I'm gonna
mhm,
talk about sports and women and finances and politics and everything else. And I'm going to keep it straight and I'm going to say what I mean to say. So, okay. You know, so
yeah.
now if people hear what you say and believe, well, that's what you
But
believed.
that's just what you said.
Yeah,
that's your
and that's the
thing.
funny thing with this. Sorry not to cut you.
Nah,
This
it's
new
good.
podcast he's doing with Ocho Cinco is very funny, but he's getting too loosey goosey. You know what I mean? They be wilding
Yeah.
too much. They be wilding way too much, and people jump. People can't handle him in that. Him and Ocho Cinco, and Ocho Cinco don't even talk that wild. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny. But
Yeah.
he got caught out there. Yeah.
Well, I think to answer the original question, I think things have definitely changed. Right? Before, if we were all, playing a game of basketball and went to the locker room, yeah, anybody could say anything. Today, I think it has to be a pivot to more of what you guys said. No, today I cannot say anything around anyone we played basketball with. I kind of got to curb some of that to when I'm with my close friends, as you guys said. Mostly because today is this whole fake cancel culture shit, right? Where,
Right.
oh, what he said, oh, I gotta get on Twitter real quick. Oh, you're not gonna believe what Dex just said. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mhm.
as soon as you walk out the locker room, niggas is looking at you like, son, why'd you say that, son? You
Mhm.
like, why did I say what? I don't understand. You like,
Mhm.
son, it's all right here on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Person A put y'all whole conversation on Twitter. Dex, why would you say that? And now you
Mhm.
just like, damn, I thought we was in the
Yeah.
that made me think of Wedding Crashers. But he's like, I thought we was in the tree of
That's the
trust in the nest,
secure
I thought
trust.
it's in the,
Yeah. Old school.
so
Old school. Old
old
school.
school,
Old
my
school.
bad, old school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Old
yeah,
Someone's
school.
in
yeah.
a tree
I
of
thought
trust.
I
Classic.
thought what are we not? I thought we was in the tree of trust in the nest. That I don't know where I was
I
going with that one, but I guess what I'm saying is
yeah.
that's
Classic.
my
Classic
shit.
moment. Classic
Yeah.
Yeah.
moment.
So
Yeah.
I think that used to be the thing, right? You used to be able to just be like, hey, a bunch of us just played a football game, or a big group of us are in the gym. I could say whatever I want. Yeah, I was getting some
Yeah.
awesome head from a stranger last night. Niggas is like, oh, I heard what Dre said. Dre likes to fuck strangers. You'd be like, damn, I thought we was all in the gym just kicking it. You're like, nah, it's all
Yeah.
on Twitter
Nah.
now, baby. You like to fuck strangers. That's it. As soon as the gym session is over, you walk out the gym and cats are just like, damn, Dre, I didn't even know you like to fuck strangers. You don't think that's dangerous? You're just like, I thought we were just in the gym, just sweating and exchanging wild thoughts. I didn't know this was gonna be incriminating evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mhm.
So I do agree today it kind of got to pivot to just be a degenerate with your close friends. And I also agree with y'all. I thought we would agree, but I was curious to see what y'all would say anyway. Yeah, once you're on a public platform, you have to think before you open your mouth. Or be ready for whatever comes with it. Now, if you're going to get up there and say, yeah, I would fuck mad girls in the same room with Dex and Dre. Matter of fact, they could join in. If you say that, now cats is looking at you like, oh, that's how you feel?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Now you got to be ready when women are coming up to you randomly, be like, "Yeah, I would like to fuck you and Dex at the same time if Dre records it." I'd be like, "Oh, I can't be offended now if women are
Right.
coming up to me saying that, or if dudes are coming up to me like, "Hey, next time you, Dex, and Dre are smashing a chick, can I join too?" I like that type of action too. You said it on a public platform.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that that's something Shannon Sharpe is learning because, as you said, Dex, the nightcap show is different than the Club Shay Shay show. Club Shay Shay is
Absolutely.
more of a controlled environment. Even though
Mm-hmm.
he's got his drink and they're having a drink or two, it's very different than when you with one of your best dudes. Clearly, him and Ocho are very close. When me
Mm-hmm.
and Dre do food, fitness, and fun, we kick it, but we know, hey, certain things we can't say on these mics. We gotta hey, listen, we gotta relax.
Yeah.
Now, when we're together, it's whatever goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we just kicking it and the cameras is off and Dre feel like telling me some wild shit or I feel like telling Dre some wild shit, cool, but I'm not gonna come up on a public platform and be like, yo, actually, y'all, I've had chronic diarrhea all day. It's just nasty. It's green and it's bubbling, and I think I got a rash on my ass. I'm not gonna come on a public platform and
Right.
say that.
Right. Right.
Right.
If I'm hanging with Dre, and Dre like, yo, what's up, man? You've been in and out the bathroom this whole time. Just like, yeah, Dre, I had a double cheeseburger. It's crazy, man. I got like all
Yeah.
this mucus. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
and actually, let me tell you a story about one time I had diarrhea while I was with a chick. It's just like, oh, it's open season because you trust the person. But yes, I totally agree. When the camera's cut on, anything you say can and will be held against you in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
You know,
and oh, go ahead.
no, I was just going to say to your point too, because he does say in the thing that you played that, oh, I'm going to edit this, right? So it's like that says to me he has editing power of that
Of
Mm-hmm.
podcast.
course.
So it's like you said, you and I have a podcast. If it's something like after it's done and a day goes by, and I'd be like, you know what? I was trying to be funny. Now that I thought about it, I don't really like what I said. Jay,
Let's
do
take that
me a
out.
favor, take that out.
Mhm.
It's being taken out, right?
Right.
So the fact that he kept it in there was like he wanted it in there, right? And me
Right.
and you, we've done plenty of shows now where it's like, Dre, do you really want to say that? Yeah, keep that in there. Yeah,
Right.
I don't care. Yeah, maybe Method Man might see it and then whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna
Right.
keep it in there anyway, right? So it's like he had mad opportunity if he really felt like, yo,
Yeah.
it might be seen the wrong way. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Cut
Just
that out.
just
Mm-hmm.
like your boy, the dictator,
Right.
just
The
dictate
dictator.
it. Just dictate that and get it out of it. But he didn't. So that tells me
Right.
you was kind of cool with it when you said it.
You was feeling yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You was feeling yourself, and that's okay. We all have moments, especially in podcasting, where we like, man, that shit I said, that might be the one. That's the clip. But you see what happens is now you got to be ready for whatever comes with the clip.
Right. If it
What the
comes.
kids what the kids say nowadays? You got to stand on your business.
Stand
Yeah.
on business.
Stand on
Stand
You got to
on
business,
stand on
right?
business.
business. You know what I'm
You got to
saying?
stand
That's
on it.
right. That's
Stand
right,
on
Dex. Look at
business.
Dex knowing the terms. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
know better. You know more
I'm
than
so
me.
hip. I'm hip.
You know what I
I'm
mean?
so hip. Shout out to my kids, man.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's the only way I know
that's right.
too. Being around
Right.
kids.
Gotta keep young people around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No
That's how
exactly.
you
doubt.
know the terms.
No doubt.
So
Unfortunately.
another question I thought about, since we seem to all be on the same page, another question this clip made me think about is, this one's quick. So I think we all gonna agree here again, but should you use your public platform to shoot your shot? He says he was not, but let's just say he was. Because Ocho says, you see it, Meg, he's shooting his shot. He says, no, I'm not shooting my shot. But my question is, we got a public platform here, right? If I feel like, man, I would love this, I would love the night with Halle Berry.
Hmm.
Should I be allowed to come up here on Man Cave and shoot my shot, as the kids say? Should I be able to be like, yo, I don't know if you're gonna be out there. I don't know how it's gonna get to you, but tag Halle Berry in the comments if y'all see this. Halle Berry, what's up? I wanna take you to Chocolate Factory. You know what I mean? Excuse me, Cheesecake Factory. Let's share a slice. think that's allowed? You think that's reasonable? Or y'all think, hey, this ain't what that's for. Do that on your own time.
Or you could take it to the chocolate factory too.
You know what I'm saying? About to put R. Kelly on the speakers. Don't play. Don't play. You know what I'm saying? Said when we. Let me stop. Before they cancel me out here. You know what I'm saying? This
Freudian slip.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Anyway,
That's
I let
a good
Dex
question.
get that one.
That's a good question. You know, again, it's how somebody says something. I don't think you should, but it's how somebody said. And we gotta use Shannon Sharpe again as an example, right? For
TVP.
ages,
Let's take Shannon Sharpe out of it. Let's
but
say right now.
I mean, as for a platform, I don't think so. But I've seen him do this before, and he was, and this is somebody age. This was Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. He used to always talk on Undisputed. Ooh, I love whatever her name was. I forget her. Nicole Murphy. He used to always be like Nicole Murphy. Woo! You know how many times he said that on there? And it looked cute and funny. But I don't know if he was really trying to shoot a shot. But it just looks weird sometimes. Personally, leave it alone. You shouldn't do that. But you know what I mean? I'm just thinking of examples I've seen on platforms, you know. But see, the thing with Cameron, he didn't really shoot a shot with Nia Long, but he was showing that he did DM her, like he didn't care. Cameron don't care. If you ever see their sports show, Cam and Mace do not care about anything.
Nah, they don't care.
They don't
but
care.
They're also ready to deal with the consequences.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They don't care. They're gonna say what they want to say. So I don't know but I didn't look at him as trying to shoot a shot. You know what I'm saying? I look at him. He just say, "I DM'd her. Let me show you what happened." She never answered me. You know, he was being funny. You know,
but let's go with my example. If I came up here and said, "Hey, so and such and such, what's up? Let's get a hotel and let's spend the weekend together."
Nah,
would that be acceptable?
I don't think that's cool, man. I don't think that's cool. Only comedians can get over saying really silly stuff like that, or somebody who really don't care. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna say something and then have to come back later and apologize, then you know what I mean? It's like then don't say it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't think you should be saying trying to proposition somebody on your podcast. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Or your platform.
Dre looked like he got some pushback. What's up, Dre? I see you.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I feel like be authentic. The whole thing of this, or whatever you're doing, I feel like you should be authentic. You don't have to say it in such a, rude, whatever way. I mean, you should say it in a way that if you really want to, if you're legitimately like, yo, I'll probably never meet this person, but it might be a slim chance that somebody will see this and somebody else will see it. And maybe somebody will send it to somebody that knows ABC or XYZ. Then go for it. You know what I mean? Why not? Be like, hey, you know what? I don't think I would ever meet you in my life, but I want you to know, if you ever came out to New York City, man, we have such a great time. I take you here, there, and there. I'm a big fan, or I'm a big admirer, or I really dig you as a whatever. And hey, hit me up. I'd love to meet you or something like that. If you put it,
I can agree with that.
Yeah, if you put it in a certain context, now if you put it in some like very disrespectful context, yeah, it was just like, yo, when I see ya, I'm a long deal. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then they're gonna be like, what? Like what's going on with that? Like it's not a very nice way of getting to know somebody. You know what I mean? Like, so if you put it in, if you make it sound like garbage, then yeah, they're gonna treat it like garbage, and then you might have to do all the apologies and everything that Dex is saying. But if you,
I agree with everything you said too. You're right.
But it's like tact. If you, but I've seen people use their platforms, you know what I mean, to let it be known, like, yo, I really dig this person, television, whatever, not just podcasts. Like they go on, Jimmy Kimmel and just be like, hey, yeah, I want you to know, blah, 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 blah. And they've said it so much, maybe this is their third time coming in, and just be like, well, guess what? So-and-so is here. And they be like, oh, you killed me. I don't even know what to say, but I really want to get, it's like, if you really digging it, hey, you never know. I mean, why not? And then let's say the person is not a star, right? Let's say the person is just, doing what you're doing. You know, they just happen to have a podcast or whatever too, and you probably just never get to meet them. You know, you might even put it that way. Hey, I know somebody that got like a little podcast like me, and they doing their thing. I got a lot of respect for them, and blah blah blah. I don't know if they seeing anybody, but hey, if you see this, I want you to know, yo, DM me, you know, because I really would like to, you know, talk to you about some things or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, why not?
Okay, so you think it's more about the delivery?
Yeah, I
The
think
way
it's
it's
about the
packaged.
delivery. I think authenticity is very important, and then delivery. You know, like you shouldn't
Okay.
say if you don't mean it. You shouldn't say because this is going to get mad clicks because I'm about to let everybody know how I feel about Nia Long or something. You know, like nah, you need to say if you really mean it. You know, not say stuff because I think a lot of people do stuff like that just to, you
Of
know,
course.
it's going to get mad views, and so they'll say it. But I think that's corny. So what I'm saying is be authentic first, and then package it in a way that you want somebody to pick it up. You know, if you
Okay.
I totally agree with you. I hear what you're saying. I will even add, you got to have to be on a platform. You have to have some real skill to say something like that and avoid being offensive at the same time. You know what I mean?
right,
You know, and I think that some people, well, I won't say a lot, but some people, I don't know if they can handle, you know, having the tact to break that down in such a polite way. You know, people be like, ooh, Salma Hayek, baby, yo, come
Right.
down the
right.
block, it's
Well, there
on.
you go.
You know
So
what I mean?
yeah. So
You know what I mean?
if you know you sitting there and your platform is like we sit on camera and we drink and we smoke and we say
Right.
crazy things and somebody brings up uh I'll be honest, I don't even know who's the people right now, but somebody bring up
Anybody.
somebody, yeah, you know, uh then you're gonna be like, oh my god, yeah, that's crazy, you know, and you saying it in such a horrible locker room like way. How do you think this person is gonna, you know, yeah, send that to her,
React
see
to
what
it.
she say? What do you think she gonna say? You know, like
Yeah.
Right.
that sounds lovely to me. I would love to meet this guy. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, you know, yeah,
Yeah.
man. If I ever see,
Oh,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead,
do all
son.
the most disgusting things, man. I drink her bad water. You don't know,
Yeah.
son. And it's like,
Yeah, you can't say it. Yeah.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to have anything to do with
I
this
mean,
person.
I gotta be honest. I don't think it's a proper place to do it. Here's my thing. My thing is, if you feel this person is so attractive or so desirable, handle that on your own time, right? Unless if you had a dating show, I could see if you was on some like, if we was on some like, hey, we bring up women up here and try to see if JD, you know, wants to date them. Then I could see if you was like, yeah, contestant number 3, you remind me of Nia Long. By the way, Nia Long, if you see this, I'd love to take you out sometime. Then it makes sense because it's like, all right, this is already something that's going on the platform. This is already what the platform is known for. But what business do I have on Man Cave coming up here like, yo, man? Salma Hayek, you know, I saw her in Eternals. She was looking great. You know, I was sitting here fantasizing about her while my daughter was watching Eternals with me. It's like, son, that's not what Man Cave is for. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-mm.
if you want to holler at Salma Hayek, find a way to do that on your own terms. Your
Mm,
co-hosts are not up here to watch you, quote unquote, shoot your shot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm,
we don't have man. The purpose of Man Cave is not to bag bitches. Like, let's be honest. That's not what we created this for. That's not why I said, hey guys, I think it'd be great if we came together and discussed these topics. One of those topics was not let's try to date the hottest women we could reach out to. That's not it's not what the platform is for. So I think no. Although I understand what you're saying, Dre, like if you package it nice and you're being authentic, it might be a lot better than
I have a stretched out like a quarter to 3.
probably not the way, probably gonna be
nah.
delivered, probably gonna be received in a much different way. But
Mm,
I don't think it's the place for it. I think you got your
mm,
public platform. If you feel like Method Man is the sexiest dude on the planet, ooh, holler at him on your own time. There's no reason for me to be up here and be like, man, you know, whew, every time I see Method Man lift those hundreds, man, whoo, it just does something to me. Method Man, you know, if you see this, baby, holla at your boy. It's no, son. You could do that off platform, like, and don't. If you find Method Man sexy, cool, holler at him on your own time. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But isn't that the
By yeah.
dynamics? Isn't that the dynamics of shooting one shot, right? Shooting to me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, shooting your shot to me means like you probably won't get an opportunity, or the opportunity is like might be a 1 in a million or whatever. It's you shooting a shot where it's like, your shot could be an easy shot, little, right there by the basket, or it could be from half court, where it's like it's just probably impossible to make. But if you feel like, you know what I mean? Like if this is the only time you got an opportunity and somebody's like, yo, here you are, Madison Square Garden. Here's the ball. You got half court. Shoot your shot. You might be like, yo, I came here to watch the Knicks play. I didn't really. Or are you going to be like, you know what? Since y'all gave me the ball,
Right.
and, it is, halftime, and it's $50,000 if I hit it from the half. Fuck it. Boom, right? Most of us are just going to be like, all right, I didn't really come here for this, but I happened to get the ball. So shooting your shot to me means here's your opportunity. You want to take it? It might not be the platform. That's why I said correct me if I'm wrong, because that's what I feel like that's the dynamics of the whole thing of shoot your shot.
No, shoot your shot is just, take the shot. Stop playing. If you dribbling, like if you find the person attractive, stop being an N1 mixtape guy and let them know. Like if I feel like, man, I've always wanted to ask Dex out. Well, nigga, ask him out. What you waiting for? Why that's the whole thing. The whole premise is like,
I dig it.
Do it. It's really just do it. That's really what it is.
Okay.
It's like,
I dig it.
Just do it. You feel what I'm saying? If you, and listen, if I'm wrong and Dre's right, y'all can put it in the comments. But my understanding of shoot your shot is be bold enough to ask the person out or profess your love or adoration or whatever.
Right. Remember on Boondocks, Riley kept dribbling. He had mad handle.
Right.
And he would never shoot. And they were like,
balling.
Wait,
maybe the episode is balling.
The ballaholics.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mad handles.
Just mad handles. They be waiting there for 20 minutes. He still ain't shoot the ball yet. Riley, what's going on? Oh, hold on. Wait. Yeah.
Mad skill. No shot at all. Yeah. That's what it is.
All right,
it's like, son, if you feel like, yo, I've been at the bar, I've been eyeing this chick for about 2 hours. It's like, son, you looked at her, she looked at you, we see you keep glancing. Son, get up and go over there.
No doubt. Yeah, that phrase was really made popular because it was saying that to women, you know what I mean? Because women would be, like you said, sitting at the bar looking at son and get mad because nobody spoke to them. And they'd be like, oh, this was a horrible night because I went out, I wore this dress, I wore this and that, and ain't nobody come over here and speak to me. And so men start saying, well, that dude that you looking at all the time, you want to say something to him, or you want him to say something to you, you spark it. You shoot your shot. Go over there and say something to him. Don't stand there and just get mad because people ain't come to you. You go to them.
Yeah, we might be on different parts of the internet. I've mostly seen the term when a celebrity tries to holler at somebody else. That's mostly when I've seen it used. And then after a while of that, I saw people just using it regular. You know what I'm saying? It just kind of became a euphemism. Like, all right, we're going to, sorry, not euphemism, a colloquialism. You know what I mean? All right, so yeah, that's a little bit of disagreement on that one. All right, let's move on. See, this is why I added another topic, because I knew if it's just the three of us, we're going to fly through these topics.
You'll run through, yeah.
So my next question is going to be a little less fun. My next question is, when Shannon Sharpe went viral for this moment, a lot of people were pointing out the age gap of these two people.
Okay.
Let me pull it up real quick, because I actually looked up how old Shannon Sharpe was for the purpose of this pod. And so Shanon Sharpe is 55 years old. Meg Thee Stallion is 28. People were saying, there was a group of people, a large group of people, including some popular podcasters, saying, this is disgusting. An old man is trying to
Go ahead. Yeah, I'm
Yo,
listening.
Dre's faith, I love it. I love it.
All right.
Love it. They said, oh, here's this old dude who is popular and powerful and trying to holler at the young, impressionable media darling. Now, let's take those circumstances out. Forget about all the stuff about them being popular and powerful and media darlings and all that stuff. I just want to ask the very basic question, which has been an age-old debate. And I'll give some examples before y'all answer. My question is, how much of an age gap is too much of an age gap? One of the podcasters I listened to said it's always happened where there's been these extreme, large, nasty age gaps. We all were in high school, and so the 30-something-year-old dude pulling up in the fly car and your high school classmate getting in the fly car with the older dude, right? We know that is legally not okay, but that's an example we've all seen very often, right? Even LL Cool J recently they pulled out one of his old lines where as an adult he says he was driving by the high school to see what hotties would come out at 3 o'clock, right? There's also a lot of there are a lot of examples of this being highlighted since Kevin Samuels passed, right? Because they were saying a lot of the people he was discussing on his show were actually older, rich dudes looking for this very specific, young, hot, no kids, specific body type woman. And there's been lots of examples of that. Even Aber and Preacher, I know we're fans of. They did a video recently about a dude who was really, up there. You could see he got all the grays, full head of gray, and he's there with a very young, impressionable lady. So, and then last example, cougars. There's a whole epidemic. There's a whole big popular thing of cougars in the last, I guess, like 20 years, right? Where it's like, yeah, if I'm, once women reach that certain age, and the oven is always on high, they gonna be on the prowl looking for these young cubs, right? It's popular, people champion it, and so here's all these different examples. Again, the question is, how much of an age gap is too much of an age gap? What y'all think?
Well, first of all, I think exactly what you said is for me the biggest problem, and that is you're pointing out a huge double standard. When
Okay.
there's a older man who prefers to go with a younger woman, that is seen now, oh, disgusting, she's young and impressionable, etc., etc., etc. But when an older woman decides to go with a young guy, no one says he's a young, impressionable guy. You just say, oh, he's with a young guy. And
Right.
the word that you use, it's championed, right? It's seen as, yeah, if they could do it, you could do it. But so this is what I don't understand. Because if it's about right and wrong, right? If murder is wrong, it doesn't mean murder is wrong if men do it. It means murder is wrong no matter who does it, right? You can't be like, well,
Okay.
I'm a woman, so I'm championing murder. No, it's wrong, right? You don't just murder people. And so if the society is saying, well, older people dating younger people is somehow wrong or misleading or something like that, it seems to be a double standard because they don't say that when older women decide to do it. When the older
Okay.
woman says, hey, you know what? I've had my kids. I'm still in shape. I want to have a good time, and I don't want to be with no oldie fogey. I'm going to hang out with these young dudes and do my thing. All the women, all the female, yes, we can. So like, yeah, girl, that's right, girl. When this is going, I know, kind of dated, whatever, but when Demi Moore was dating, what's the young brother?
Ashton
That's
Kutcher.
Ashton
Ashton
Kutcher.
Kutcher, right? Was dating
Mhm.
Ashton Kutcher. No one was like, oh my God, Demi Moore, the young and impressionable Ashton. He doesn't know anything. He's just young and impressed. No one said that. Everyone was like, go ahead, Demi. Oh, she bagged her a nice young one. And so this is what I don't understand. And this is maybe not a question for me to answer because I just feel like it's a double standard. Why does this double standard exist where it's okay for one and okay? So what I'm saying is when women choose that, it's a woman's preference. And what that means is women should have the right to choose anything they want, right? Life is your oyster. You have the whole spectrum of men or women or anything in between. And all those choices makes you stronger, girl. You choose whatever nobody tell you. Oh, okay. That's great. But that doesn't seem like to be a principle, because if it was a principle, it would be universal. And that would mean it's okay for men to think like that too. But no, don't let a guy do, oh, he's disgusting. What? He's 55 and he wants to be with a woman that's 29, almost 30? Ew, yuck. How disgusting that is. Well, why is one disgusting on the other hand and not disgusting on the other? Maybe one of y'all can answer that for me, because to me that sounds like a double standard, and that's why it's corny. So I'm done.
Okay. Well, but you still ain't answered the question.
That's why I said I couldn't answer it, because how could you answer it on one end but did not answer it on the other?
Okay, so let's make it universal. Forget about men, women, non-binary, etc. What age gap is too much of an age gap?
None. Are they grown?
None.
Are they grown? Are both people grown?
Okay.
Right? What's your boy? Because he didn't really get too much flack with this, but maybe he did. Al Sharpton, right? Al Sharpton is probably 60?
107.
Right? Al Sharpton is probably in his 60s, right? Al Sharpton decided years ago to date this woman that was in her 30s. Okay. And I didn't hear a lot of pushback. Honestly, I was just like, I feel you, Al, you're not fat.
69.
Al. 69. He about to be 70.
I just looked it up.
Right? So he's 70. I think his lady is probably in her mid 30s,
We're about to find out.
And why not, Al? That's what Al want. She's grown as hell, right? Grown as hell. You 30. That is not anything fresh out of the oven. So, as long as you're not talking about being with kids, because that's a whole nother thing. Right? If you ain't talking about being with a person that's grown, that makes their own decisions, and people like what they like. You know what I mean? I know plenty of brothers who are young and just like older women. I'm sorry. This is what I do. This is my thing. I don't like nothing young. Sorry. Nah, kid. No, that's for y'all. No, the cats, that's what they like. So, do they not have the right to go after what they like? And so if you're a young man and you like older women, knock yourself out. And if you're a younger woman and you like older men, knock yourself out. Who's to say, what's too old and what's too young? Nah, if you're 30 years old, you like somebody that's 69, 70, it's your life. It's your life. I don't care if they 99 and you 29. It's your life. That's what you like. Go for it.
Okay. I looked it up. If this is correct, because I don't know.
Yeah.
But if this is correct, Aisha McShaw is 42.
Yeah,
she just 69.
Right, and they met years ago, right? So
yeah,
she just now.
It even said that. It says they were first pictured together in July of 2013.
There you go.
At the New York Democratic Committee Awards ceremony, when McShaw told those gathered she was his girlfriend. But the age gap is the same, regardless of how old she is today. It's 23 years difference.
Right. And so everybody's like, I feel you, Al. That's it. That's what Al liked, and she liked Al. And who are we to get in their relationship and be like, but Al shouldn't do that because she's blah, 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 or she shouldn't be, dating no Al Sharpton. He's too old for her. That could be her dad, but it's not her dad. Because that's the other thing. I hate hearing that. That could be your daughter, but it's not my daughter.
But it's not my daughter.
It's my girlfriend. You know what I mean? like whatever. And on the other side, you know, if a young woman feels like, and I know young women like this, you know, just like, yo, I don't like young dudes. Like, I'm sorry, like y'all corny, you know, y'all don't know how to talk to me, y'all don't know how to take me out, you know, you don't treat me with any respect. I'd rather be with older guys, and so they exclusively date older men. Yo,
Okay.
it's your life, you know. This is the thing. This is why we supposed to have an America, and you can build it the way you see it. So,
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, who am I to say
So
what's
as
too
long as
much?
they're
Too,
adults, it's all good.
as long as they're adults, rock yourself out.
Okay. Rock out with your cock out.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
Got it. All right, Dex.
I agree. Look, if you're an adult and you guys have the chemistry and feel like you could be joined together in that way, go for yours. I have nothing to do with that. And that even goes, dare I say, even if my adult children start dating somebody over 20, 30 years old, go for yours. A brother might have to challenge the situation a little bit. You know
Sure, you're their
what I'm
dad,
saying?
but Dex,
I may have to challenge it a little bit, but
You're their
go for
dad. But
yours.
Dex, you're their dad. You're gonna challenge even if the person was the same age.
You
Right? It
got
don't matter. You're not
see,
going to be, you know, if they could be
absolutely,
born the same day, same age as your daughter, you're still going to challenge
absolutely.
them. So that has nothing to do with the
Damn
price of tea
right.
in China.
You're
That's
damn
your
right.
job. You're their father.
Damn right. Damn right. Now,
Yeah.
I'm just saying that because if a brother my age is introduced to me, I'm going to challenge that a
Yeah,
little
like
bit
who
to
the
see
fuck?
where his head's
Of
at. But I would do
course.
that with anybody. I
Right.
would do that with a 25-year-old too. Yes, you know what I mean.
Right.
Absolutely. You
Okay.
know. Yeah. But yeah, I agree. Yeah.
No, go ahead, finish, Dex.
No, I agree. I mean, I ain't putting nobody on Front Street, but I do have a friend right now dating somebody who's definitely 30 years younger than them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And they doing their thing. I ain't got nothing to say about it. Everybody's rocking. They rocking. Good for them. You know, work things out.
Right.
You know, they doing it. They've been together for 2, 3 years. Hey, good for y'all. You know, so
Okay.
I'm seeing it. I got a front row seat to this thing. You know,
Front row seat,
they
right?
working. Yeah, yeah.
All right.
What you gonna
Yeah,
say?
I think it's interesting that that's brought up often. I've seen it on both sides. I've seen men with younger women be criticized. I've seen women with younger dudes be criticized. And
Okay.
for the public who don't know, I mostly date older women.
See, I
Y'all
was
know
going to
that
say
already.
that, but I didn't know if you
Oh,
had
I
did
don't give
that.
a fuck.
You
Listen,
know what I
I'll
mean?
let you.
damn baby,
All
see me
right.
out.
Because I was like, yo,
Let my
Hear
but
me
man let my
out.
man bring that up.
I
Let him
want to
talk
say,
about
because
it.
I'm like, I've
All
known
right.
you for a very, very long time.
Well,
You
that's
know
why
my
I said,
You know what I
style. You
mean?
know what I'm saying?
And
I
I
was
You
know
know
gonna
my
you.
let him bring that
style.
up.
I remember you being a teenager and
Right.
not fucking with teenagers. You know what I mean? Like that was
Exactly.
your main shit. You were just like, yo,
Yeah.
what they my age? I'm out of here, kid.
Hey,
Like you
hey,
did not
yeah.
mess with people your age. It didn't even
And
turn
still
you
really don't.
on. Like I'm talking about, you ain't even reached 20 yet. You was still a teenage kid, and you was on some like, nah, son, she nice to know, but she only 17. I can't, no, I can't do
So
it.
what I'm
I'm
supposed to
like,
do with that?
right, I'm like, but you're 17. I don't like, Dre, I don't
No,
like
I
that. I
don't
don't
want
like
that.
that.
No,
Like,
I
it had
don't
to be
like
like
that.
25, 30. Like, somebody was 30, young Jay get mad excitedly. Yo, Dre, come here. Yo, let me tell you. She's 32, right? And I'd be like, yo, like, I say the same thing I'm saying right now. Like,
Yep.
you're not a tiny kid. It's not like you like, but I didn't see it as he's being abused or no stuff
Right.
like this is what this kid likes.
Right.
So it's his life. Let him enjoy the life he wants to fucking enjoy. I'm sorry,
Right.
I interrupted
Yeah. No, listen, I don't give a fuck.
you.
Listen, you can say whatever. I can edit it out. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. Just
Yeah, edit
kidding.
all
Just
that out.
kidding.
Yeah.
All of that out. Niggas
Yeah.
gonna watch this in like a month and be like, hey, I remember about an hour in, I said some shit. Where'd
Right.
that go? What
Right.
happened? I don't know. It must have
Right.
got edited out.
Right.
Sorry. Nah, I'm
Right.
just kidding. No, listen, I'm not going to come up here and say people's names and break down every detail, but y'all both know I mostly date older. Have I ever dated someone my age? Absolutely. Have I ever dated someone slightly younger? Absolutely. But normally I date older. So I myself have been criticized as like, you you messing with a chick how old? She do what? Why are you dating someone so much older? I remember, and I'll take it way back to when you talking about. I remember the first time my dad found out I was dating an older woman. He was like, "Wait, okay, all of that sounds good, but she's how old?" No, but what made you date someone that much older? And in my mind, I'm like, 7 years is nothing. Like
Right.
that's 7 years. What's 7 years? Like
And the thing
I don't.
is, I don't even mess up your flow, but the thing is, at that time, we've known a lot of the same people, and people would come to me, Dre, you heard about what JD is? Yeah. I mean, like, I talk to the dude all the time. Yeah, he told me. Because they'd be like, you're not going to believe this. Yo, Dre, you're not going to believe this. He blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, I've been on that. Yeah, I know. What's the bro? And you ain't say nothing? What am I going to say? Like,
Yeah.
that's what he likes. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't say anything when he was messing with an apprentice, so why would I say something that he's messing with so and so? You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Like why would I? It's not, and I'm like, he's not being abused. I mean, he tells me about the really, it's not like someone's abusing him or taking things from him. He's having a great time. He's being young. I'm like, whatever. But I'm
Good
sorry.
times.
Yeah, yeah,
No, it's good. It's good. It's fine. Listen, that's what the platform is here. I like when it flows naturally.
yeah.
I prefer this over like, okay, let's all be quiet while Dex talks.
Right.
Okay, Dex is done. Let me call on the next guy. I like when it flows naturally.
Yeah.
I think it makes better conversation and also better content. Because in real life, if the three of us at a bar, we're not all silent while the next person is talking.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I'm not like, okay, Dex, now that you finished, let me tell you what
I'm gonna
I
let you talk.
remember.
I'm gonna let you talk. But
Right. So we on our Kanye shit. You know what I'm saying? Dex, I'm gonna let you finish, but I remember. You'd be like, all right, you
Right.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my dad sitting me down and being like, all right, 7 years is a lot. That's a big gap. And I feel everything you're saying, but my advice is anything above 7 years is kind of wonky. And I was just like, you know me, I question everything. I'm just like, okay, but why? Why more than 7 though? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going backwards. Like I'm not 18 dating you know what I mean? A kid. Like I'm 18 dating a grown ass woman with a crib and a job and a career. She's cooking for me. She's showing me fly shit in the bedroom. What's the problem? I'm having a blast. That's why you ain't see me for the last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? That's why you asked me should I start packing up my shit? I was busy elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? In parts unknown, as they used to say in the wrestling world. You know what I'm saying? Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I was just like these are not the droids you're
Not the
looking for. You know what I'm
droids,
saying?
though. It's not the droids, kid. Not they.
So, yeah, I've dealt with people who are significantly older, way older. Some y'all know about, some y'all don't. And I've also received criticism where it's like, you say you was doing what? Damn, you rocking grandmas now, kid? And I'm just like, hey, grandma had the sauce. You know what I'm saying? Grandma. And if grandma felt like it's too much and she want to introduce me to her daughter, you know what I mean? Then we swap. You know what I'm saying? I just swap on them. I'm a nasty dude. You know what I'm saying?
I like
We
that.
just swap. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
a
oh, okay, listen, I'm 60 now. This is too crazy. But my daughter, she's 47. Holler at my daughter, which that's a wild, that's like crazy age, but that's a bad example. But I'm just like, all right, what's up, daughter? What's going on with you? I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I think this has always been an interesting conversation. It's one I've come in contact with many times throughout my life. Even when I do shoot my shot, quote unquote, with these older women, the first thing I always get is like, son, but you mad young. I'm like, okay, but let's have a real conversation and let's see what we could talk about. You know what I'm saying? Now, after this conversation, you let me know, do you want to see me walking out the door or walking into your apartment? You let me know. We have real conversations, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But first thing they always say is, yeah, but you mad young, though. You mad young. Oh my God. You know, you were so young, I'm not sure. And then they be quite sure when their legs is back here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, yeah, and then I'm not editing that out. You feel what I'm saying?
We're not editing that.
Staying in. No
Yeah.
edits today. You know what I'm
Yeah. You
saying?
know,
So,
I dig it. Go ahead, man.
no, go ahead. Go.
No, I was gonna say it's like, you know, I feel I dig everything you're saying because for me, you know, in my dating journeys, a number wasn't a thing that I was really
Oh, I know.
concerned with. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I too know some things.
right on both sides of the spectrum. It's much like, you know what I mean? Young, older. You know what I mean? Like, I'll just be like, that's not what I'm looking. I'm not going to validate or invalidate someone because of a number. If I meet you
I know.
and we had a vibe, I'm like, you know, that was dope. And because I've been like that, I've met people on both sides where it's like, yo, I've met some really intelligent, great head on their shoulders, but crazy young people. Like, yo, I can't believe this person is 22 years old and smarter than mad women my age. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow. And really was impressed and glad that I didn't go by numbers. And on the other way, you know what I'm saying? Where I met people who were like way older than me. And like, man, we had a great time and we hung out and she took me to places I didn't know. And just like, yo, this was amazing. I'm glad I'm not the type of person to be like, nope, you this age and we're not going to hang out. That will, if you think like that, to me anyway, that will lock you out of a lot of experiences. You know what I'm saying? I don't think like that when it comes to somebody's age. I don't think like that when it comes to somebody's like color or race or whatever. I'm not going to lock someone out just on some surface thing. You know what I mean? They'll probably lock themselves out by their personality after I get to know them and be like, oh, okay, now I see what type of person you are. That's different.
Right.
But just to be like, nope, you from Ecuador. I ain't dating you.
Right.
Like, that's dumb to me. You know what I mean? Like,
You know what
what?
that reminds me of? That remind me, and I'm gonna say his name because the song is out. It's public, you know what I mean? I didn't, but I remember Mike Black had a song. In the song, he said something like, I can't remember the first part, but he says, "White chicks, I don't do those." And I remember when he played me this song, I was like, hey, Mike, you sure you want to exclude an entire group of people? Like, we were young. We was like early 20s. I think my daughter was just born.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, Mike, you sure you want to put that out? You want to edit that? You want to change that line? You could say anything else and still keep I don't do those. He was like, nah, I'm fucking with no white chicks. I was like, son, that is a grave mistake to put on a record. Like, I love you, but and listen, and if we being niggas, I'm thankful you letting the white women come to me because you just kicked them out. I'm gonna just scoop that right up.
Right. I feel you.
All right.
I feel you. Especially as a
Keeping
young
it real,
person.
son.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dex.
No, especially as a
Told
young
them straight
person.
up. I was like, son, I'm happy. If we being honest, I appreciate you neglecting them because I'm gonna take all the ones you deny. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thank you. Hey, Snowflake, nice to meet you. Hi, I'm JD, beautiful to meet you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Karen, Lauren, all of those people. Yes, very nice to meet you. Deborah, hi Deborah, But
Right.
that's what he said very boldly on the song. I don't remember the first part, but he said, white chicks, I don't do those. That's exactly how the line goes. And I was like, ooh,
And
you wild for
that's
that
fine.
one.
And that's fine. And there's plenty of
That's
white
fine.
women who are just like, nope, I don't mess with black people. And there's plenty of people who are
Everybody got
like,
their
nah,
preference, yeah?
yeah, nope. If you more than 7 years, then that's it. Or if you less than you know, a lot of you can't be no more than 2 years younger or than that. Whatever,
Right.
if you date like that, fine, that it's your life, whatever. But I always feel you don't locked yourself out of some dope experiences because I know if I would have kept myself within some kind of range, life would be corny. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the best spices I had is because I just opened up and was like, yo, I don't even know this person's age. Like we've been hanging out all night and it's been crazy. just met this person and she's telling me about certain things that most people can't tell me. Like, what? Equilibrium? When did you see that? What? That's nuts. How do you
Right.
even know about that? Let's have more conversation. You know, I don't care what age you are. You blowing me away, you know, mentally. You know what I'm saying? So why would I? Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, but I hear some people don't like that. But you know, yeah, I feel you on that, Jay. Like,
Yeah, and I think really what should be the deciding factor is probably relatability, right? Like
right.
I have been in instances where I tried to date someone significantly older. I don't get any of their references. I
Mm-hmm.
can't relate to any of the shit they're talking about. And I'm like, man, as attractive as you are, I don't know if it's gonna work because I don't know any of the shit you're talking about. Like you making references from 47. I don't know nobody that was alive in 47. Like my dad was born in 66. I don't know shit. Like, what are you even talking about? I have
Right.
no idea. Like, I don't know life before. I mean, like, we talking about segregation and shit. Like, I read a book, but you know, I never used the all white bathroom. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I can't, you know,
Outhouse.
and right. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I don't know. I don't know. And the opposite, like, I find it really hard for myself, and it's always been this way, Dre. You can attest to that. It's always been hard because I've hung out with older people my
Yeah.
whole life.
Yeah.
It's always been hard for me to connect with younger people, like men and women. But I
Yeah.
mean, we talking about dating, so let's keep it on dating. Like when women come up to me and they're younger than me, it's like a lot of times it's really hard for me to connect with them because
Right.
I'm like, wait, what? You how old? And just paid your first cell phone bill? You live with mom at what age? Like, and that's not a diss. It's just we just not a lot of times on the same wavelength. Like, listen, if you're 27 years old right now and never lived on your own and don't have kids and never paid bills, it's gonna be kind of hard for me to just kick it with you because I got a lot of bills and I got a kid. And I got stress from both of those situations. And there's mad other shit that comes into play, but even those situations is just like, but then you don't really understand why I can't just go blow my whole check right now. I can't just blow my whole check and then go back to my mom and dad's house. It don't work like that for me. I got to make sure
Right.
other shit is going on. So, and even as a teenager, right? Like I remember as a teenager, Dre, you noticed I was a teenager with 2 part-time jobs. Like I was working full-time hours as a teenager. And so when I would go date girls as a teenager, it was hard to connect to them because they like, why you work? You know what I'm saying? Why you working? Why you don't just chill? Why your parents don't buy all your clothes? And I'm just like, I don't know what to talk to you about. Like
Right. Right. Nah.
you
No.
you know, I'm already paying bills at 18. What am I supposed to say
Right.
to the
No.
18-year-old who's like, I just worry about school. My parents take care of the rest. It's
Right.
like
Yeah. No,
I
that's
don't know what
true.
to tell you because I'm over here stressed out trying to figure out. I went and had a night out with Dex and Dre. I don't got enough money to cover my cell phone. I might not have a cell phone for the next month. I'm stressed out, and you just like, yeah, well, I'm going sneaker shopping. I told my mom I want the new Jordans. I'm like, yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
how
No,
we
that's true.
relate to each other in that sense. Now the woman who's you know, a career woman and she's got her own crib. We might could kick it a little different because now I'm just like, okay, yeah, no, I feel you. I was thinking of phoning Dre to borrow $5 too. Oh, you was considering that? You had your cell phone off all month last month? You wild. How'd you do that? Teach me how to Dougie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We talking spreadsheets and shit.
Right.
I don't I
And
don't
those
know
are
what to do.
yeah, and those are usually the young people where I'm just like, you might be young, but your mind is like 20 years ahead. You know what I mean? And that's what's impressive. So it's like I'll
Mm-hmm.
meet them and it'll be like what you're saying, like they got their stuff together, they got that together, and then they'll be like, yeah, and also I only listen to 90s R&B. What? You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right,
Like, yeah,
Yeah.
because today's music don't sound right, and it's
Uh-huh.
something I know. I know I was born in this era, but I don't like it. Like, I really like the stuff in the '90s. It's better. Like the hip hop is better. Oh, now we could talk because I'm gonna bring you some stuff you
right,
probably never even heard of before, and that's exactly
right,
what the way it opens up. It's just like, did you say you like '90s R&B? Oh
right,
wow, okay. So I'm gonna put you on to somebody you probably never even heard of because
right,
she was kind of like a one hit. You know, you heard of Karen White? No,
right,
who's that? I got
Right.
you. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
And the
just throw
opposite.
something
And the
on.
opposite, Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, you're right. No, you're right. And the opposite, but
Yeah.
just be like,
Like, me,
exactly.
I'll call you quick. Like, yo, Dre, you know about this shit from 72? Son, Shorty just put me onto this shit from 72.
Right.
Now I'm mad at you. Now it's turning the locker room talk. But Dre, hold on. Dre, why you never put me onto this shit,
Right.
Dre? I don't understand. You was around in 72. Why you ain't tell
Yeah,
me
no
about this shit?
doubt.
We known each other for mad years. Why I had to find out from this woman about some shit from 72, Dre? You just like, son,
No,
I
you're right.
don't know.
You're
You
right.
right.
And then also on the other end, right, where it's just like, oh, have you heard of DJ blah blah blah? And I don't know DJs or
Right.
playlists. I don't know that stuff. And so a younger person would be like, oh, you should listen to DJ blah blah blah. They're on so and so. You can hear their playlist.
Right.
It's dope. Oh, take a look. That is
Right.
actually dope. That is what's up. Or they'd be like, yeah, this person sounds a lot like so and so from your area. You should check them out. Oh, that's what's up.
Right.
So
You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
all about the exchange, you know what I mean? And appreciating where people are at and where they're from. And if they're from a couple of generations down or a couple of generations above, for me, that's like, wow, that makes even better conversations if we're both open like that. If we had that kind of open mentality, you know what I mean? But
Right.
yeah, man. So to cut one off because I don't know. I think a lot of people just want to stay in one particular lane and they can't see anything outside of that. And that, for me,
And it
that's
comes from societal, same
Yeah.
stuff we keep talking about up here. It comes from societal norms, quote unquote, societal pressures, quote unquote. And that's why I like to move in the shadows. Let's have a real conversation. Because if you don't know who I'm dating, you can't ask me too many questions. Now, all of that shit we've been discussing, you don't even know. You're just like, hey, Jay, how's your dating life going? It's going good. I got a friend or two.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But when I come and be like, all right, yeah, this woman is 15 years my senior. She got a kid that's like 6 years younger than me. You looking like, I don't know if that's good though, Jay. You
Right.
sure you want to do that? I'm like, son, we've been rocking for 2 years. It's been amazing.
Right.
Yes, I'm quite sure.
Yeah.
Like, all right.
And
But when you don't know that, that's why I like to be in the
yeah,
shadows. You
and
know what I'm
that's why a
saying? I'm
lot of
just
times
like,
celebrities will keep their relationships very tight and in the shed because they don't
yeah,
want that, right? It's like whatever whoever I'm a date, I'm a date. You got your TMZs running around and trying to figure out or whatever, but a lot of times
that's
they're
right.
like, nah, I'm not going to deny, confirm nothing, like whatever. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So yeah.
I agree. Any last thoughts, Dex? I know we kind of was all over the place.
No. I'm totally entertained, and I think this was a good. I'll just throw in when it comes to dating in big age gaps, at least be open, like be open to learn new things, and just be aware of the world anyway. Don't be so closed-minded. Know the new music at least a little bit. Know those
Right.
shows a little bit, and let somebody fill you in, and vice versa.
Right. Tell them, podcast friends.
Podcast friends, you hear what I'm saying here, podcast friends. Be open to older stuff. Be open to younger stuff. All right,
Talk to them.
you know
I
what I
like
mean?
when Dex does that. I don't know if y'all
Yeah,
know that. Dex does that on the pod.
I saw that
yeah,
last
When
time.
Dex want to make a point, when Dex feel passionate about something, he be like, podcast friends. Podcast friends. Listen to me. Podcast friends.
Podcast
yeah.
friends.
Podcast
my
friends,
Unite.
That's what I'm saying?
yeah,
With our powers combined.
totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
All right, let's hit this last topic.
All right.
This is early.
Okay.
Now we're going to not laugh for a while. But, all right. So, this is a men's podcast. And, we got to talk about men's stuff. And we've been kicking it. This been the locker room episode. But let's lay on the couch and talk to the psychiatrist a little bit.
All right.
Men in this society are often taught to suppress their emotions. I would like to discuss, why do you think that is? And do you suppress your emotions? And I'll start, since you guys started every other time. So I think this is not so cut and dry. I don't think this is very black and white. I think there's a lot of nuance in this conversation, but we'll see where it goes. I think that men have been taught to be this like very stoic uh kind of rock, if you will. And I think the reason for that is men uh and I'm gonna be careful how I say this. But men are kind of evolutionarily, when we speak from an evolutionary sense, men have been the leaders of the pack. Men have been the leaders of the household, the leaders of the family. And so, in the words of Planet of the Apes, apes grab on to the strongest branch. You feel me?
I thought you was
And
gonna
so,
say, "Get your hands off me, you dirty."
ah,
I didn't know where you were going for 1 second.
get your hands off me, you
You
damn dirty ape.
dirty ape. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
classics.
Uh-huh.
Ape
Um,
never kill
you know what I'm
ape.
saying? Ape not kill ape. You know what I'm saying? Ape not kill ape is one of the six rules.
You know what
Anyway,
I mean?
um, so ape always grab onto the strongest branch.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so historically speaking, if you want to go all the way back to caveman days and hunter-gatherer days, the man was who led the pack, and they were the leader in every aspect of the word. They protected everyone. And so I think as we have evolved, there's sort of been this concept along with it that has evolved, that not only is the man the leader, not only is he who we lean on, but he is the strongest person here, physically, metaphorically, any way you could think of. This is the most solid person. And so I think because of that, we have gotten to a place many years ago, because this concept is not new at all. But I think at one point it became that this person is just a rock, not the rock, just a rock. This person has no choice but to be solid. This person has no choice but to protect us. This person has no choice but to be almost emotionless. And part of that means you can't be sad and boo-hooing. You cannot be someone who is feminine, right? And today, a lot of this stuff is being challenged, right? A lot of women want a man who is in touch with his emotion. Even on the dating apps, they see emotionally available man is one of the things I'm looking for. They don't want the rock. But I think that's a contradiction, perhaps a topic for another
Oh, they
time.
want the
But
rock. They want the rock.
you see, and now I'm gonna edit that out. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you.
But um, so they want there's this thing where men have to suppress their emotions, right? If you're a man who's constantly showing emotions, you're seen as weak, you're seen as soft. I don't think this is something that really is to be argued. I think historically that's what it is, right? It's like this person is weak, this person is soft. Now, so those are the reasons I think why men are taught to suppress their emotions. I think that historically we are looking for the man to lead and looking for the man to be strong, metaphorically, physically, everything. And part of that is if I see this strong person, this leader, having a moment of quote unquote weakness, we now question them. Even going back to that Planet of the Apes movie from a few years ago, once Caesar was seen as weaker, softer, more open minded, what happened? Hoba come right in and say, okay, I'm about to fuck this whole shit up because he's too soft. You working with humans? Humans? Apes? Village? Everything gotta go. I'm gonna
Caesar
burn down this whole,
love human.
you know what I'm saying? Caesar love humans. So what, and I'm using this as an example because art often imitates life and life often imitates art. And so when we see someone who is seen as, oh, I see Dre having arguments with his lady, maybe I could swing in and scoop up his lady, right? When we see, oh, Dre don't have the strongest relationship with his son, well, maybe somebody else is going to come and step in and try to be that branch and be the person to influence and manipulate his son. So that's why I'm using all of these examples. So I think that's what it is. I think that's why men are taught to suppress their emotions. I think that it's kind of like, we need you to be this thing, and that's kind of the role that we need. And if you can't be this role, it's going to be problematic. And a big piece of that is emotions. And so if you're sad, if you're unhappy, if you're sentimental, that is viewed as weak. And I think that's why we are taught to suppress our emotions. I do think it is taught. I do think it is conditioned. I don't think this is just some shit that happened by happenstance. And to answer the second part, do you suppress your emotions? Absolutely, I sure do. I think of it a little differently for me personally. Now, for me personally, I don't feel comfortable expressing those emotions to everyone and in every situation. And so I'm going to put those emotions in my back pocket until I'm in a space where now I feel, yeah, I could let this out. Whether that's calling one of you guys, whether that's whipping out the notebook and jotting down my feelings, or whether that's just sad alone in a corner crying with some Sade on. Whatever it is, uh, all of these examples are okay. But I don't think in the moment I could just be at work crying, and snot coming down my nose on camera for the next 3 hours. I think if I did that, my job would come and say, hey, man, you seem emotionally distraught. You should probably take a leave of absence. Maybe they're going to give me some kind of psych eval. I don't know. And that's an extreme example, but there's moments like that. Sometimes shit just hits you. You know what I'm saying? You could be at work and maybe you see a mom and their kid pass by hand in hand, and you like, man, that's beautiful. Fuck, it sucks that I don't talk to my mom. And now you want to boo-hoo. You want to have that ugly cry, quote unquote, but now it's not the time. And so, yeah, I suppress my emotions a lot. Also, I think, and this is probably another topic for another time, I don't know, but I don't think men are given safe spaces to really be able to do that. I don't think I could just go into a bar right now and be like, yo, I'm buying everybody shots. Listen to my sad story. And they're going to say, thank you for your shots. Now shut the fuck up. I don't think I could just go in there and be like, yeah, I just having a really hard day. I don't think we have that space. I don't think men are granted that grace to be this openly sentimental, emotional person, even if in that moment. Because even if you're the strongest dude they know, what they gonna say? They remember that one time he was at the bar crying like a bitch though? Remember that shit? What's up with him? Get check on him? Because at any moment, he might start acting like that again. So those are my answers. I'll let y'all go.
Well, yeah, we do know it's the pressures of society. That's how they teach us to suppress our emotions. You gotta be tough. You gotta be a pillar for your home. You can't you can't be shaken by anything. You gotta be tough. So I know that we all know that that's how society has taught us. Although I think in this new era we see that you can show your emotions. It's okay to be emotional about things in front of your loved ones and all that. You don't have to always try to hold back and hide them. As far as me, do I suppress my emotions? Well, I mean, of course, I kind of like to think like you say you keep certain things in your back pocket. There's times and places to let out and be who, show those emotions. I mean, even in public, depending on where you're at. I mean, I think there's a time and place for everything. I just think a well-rounded man's gonna show his. I think one of the facets of being a well-rounded, good, strong man is to be able to show your emotions uh, when emotions need to be shown, and not to try to hide that from your children or your partner or whatever the case may be. And so that's a good facet. Just like I think it's great that you maintain good health and strength, and you try to learn and be all the other things that we know is supposed to be masculine. I think that's an important facet. I think society has hid that from for too long. I mean, that's a big part. So yeah, so I like you. Yeah, do I suppress my emotions? Well, in certain scenarios, yeah, you have to switch to something else. But like if I'm sitting with my kids, they've seen me cry tons of times. You know what I mean? And my girlfriend, yeah, definitely see me cry. You know what I mean? I mean, even up to, I'll give you a absolute recent situation. I'm gonna say it quick so I don't cry now. My best friend Bracy, no, you wasn't there. He came in from Virginia, and he was there. You didn't see him. He had videotaped the eulogy I gave for my mom in October.
That's heavy.
Sitting in the bar drinking Guinness, and I had the nerve to watch the replay. I haven't seen it. Well, let's just say I wasn't
Yeah.
suppressing emotions while I was sitting at the bar. I didn't give a damn what anybody felt. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. So I guess there are places that you're going to show your emotion. I think it's an important facet for a man to, with everything else that I believe should be what a man is. Emotion should be something that's placed in that mix.
Okay.
That's what I
Yeah,
gotta
that's
say.
what's
And
up.
why do you think men are taught to suppress their emotions?
It's totally how society sees masculinity. You gotta be a tough guy. You gotta be strong. You gotta, the more macho and tough you are, the more other men look at you as a leader and hero, and they try to, you're looked at as soft, and things like that, Um, uh, and so Shannon Sharpe has been a theme of this thing, and what we said today. He
Yeah,
said
yeah.
once, and I found it funny. And look, I'm no tough guy by any means, but if somebody think I'm soft because I'm crying, in the words of Shannon Sharpe, I don't know if I'm the best fighter, but you don't want to find out.
Right.
All right, you don't want to find out. You know
I
what I
like
mean?
that.
No
You
doubt.
know,
I like that.
he said that I thought it was hilarious, but but yeah. So yeah, it's a society. Society, that's how we see things. He real man because he's not soft at all. You know what I mean? He's not soft. Look at you crying, you sucker, man. You know what I mean? I don't care about all that. I'm at that age. I don't care about that shit either. anyway, but
Word.
but yeah, I think we've grown and understand what a real man is and stuff. But society still will push that. Although I think we're in the era now where it's kind of changing a little bit.
Hmm.
It's being
Um,
challenged. It's being
that's being
challenged
challenged.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Go ahead, Dre.
Can you ask the first question again? I'll make sure I'm accurate.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Why do you think men are taught to suppress their emotions? Excuse me.
Okay. So why do I think that men are taught to suppress their emotions? Yeah, it's
Mhm.
because of antiquated notions.
Okay.
A lot of the ones that you guys already, have already talked about. These notions are
Mhm.
antiquated, and basically have been found to be false, especially in the society that we're living in today. So, lots of times, things will happen, um, and you got to respond, right? So let's say, you're at war, and your country has called you to be at war, and you're out there and you're fighting and you're blah blah blah, and you the person you've been fighting with for a year just got popped in the head, like that was your best dude. Okay, so you don't have the opportunity at this moment to cry about that. Okay, you have to keep fighting. And so in that instance, it's like men did those kinds of things. We went to war, we put out fires, we were in dangerous things. And so you had to have that tool to suppress your emotions because you have to stay in the fight. Right now is not the time. Whereas we in those days allowed women to just feel whatever you want to feel. But it's an antiquated notion. Also, I can't continue this and pretend that when they say, oh, men suppress their emotions but women were allowed to press them. Which women?
That's a
because
good
Mhm.
point. Very good point.
because we know our women, our grandmothers, our great grandmothers, great grandmothers, when they were being raped by people who claimed to own them, and they cried about it, they weren't allowed to have emotions. They clean yourself up, go back out there and pick
Right.
cotton or whatever they
Whatever
needed
your,
you.
your
Yeah,
assignment
whatever your,
was.
yeah, usually it was some sort of agricultural
Absolutely.
duties, right? Whatever your agricultural duties were, pick yourself up and go up there and do them. Your feelings don't matter. So when I hear, oh yeah, women are always allowed to, just be emotional. No, whose women? Not ours. We went
Right.
through incredible traumas, both men and women, on people who look like us, and had to grin, bear it, and move on. So the tool of suppressing one's emotion had always been there. It's a survival tactic that people had to learn regardless of your gender. So
Well said.
with that being said, I still believe as an adult living in society, every adult has to learn to suppress their emotions and can't just act on their emotions, right? It all
Okay.
depends on the place and the time, right? If I'm
Yes.
driving my car and someone T-bones me and I'm like, oh my God, and I'm very emotional about it, I'm not allowed to just go out there and start, or stay in the car and just start crying and bawling. Like, I might want to do that, but I'm in a situation right now. So I have to take a deep breath, suppress all the stuff I'm feeling right now, and deal with this situation. I think all adults have to do that, right? It's like, you're in school and someone comes in and they shoot up the school. You don't have the time to sit there and go, oh my God, what? This is scary. I'm not gonna go in. It's like, yo, you gotta move. Everybody in
Right.
here has to move. And so we've all have to learn the tool of suppressing your emotions at the time. And a lot, like Dex is saying, what makes one a healthy adult is that we understand there's a time and place for things. So if I'm sitting at the bar and Dex's story was like, wow, of course, like I'm gonna let this out right now. Or,
Yeah.
I'm watching a movie and it's a very dramatic scene and it's just ripping me open. I'm gonna let it loose. I'm gonna have
Hmm.
emotional maturity to say, hey, this is what I'm feeling, and it has nothing to do with my pee-pee parts. Like, that's what's archaic
Right.
about it. You know what I mean? It's like, what does that have to do with anything? Like, you're an
Right.
adult, you have feelings, and you should have emotional maturity to say, hey, this is what I'm feeling right now. I'm gonna let it loose. And this is a safe place for me to do it. I'm in the movie theater. This is a safe place for me to do it. I'm in the bar. This is a safe place for me to do it. And so having the emotional maturity to say, okay, this is a good time, this is a good place, and I'm around a couple of cool people that can, help me out through this. Yeah, that just takes emotional maturity, and I don't think it has anything to do with whether one is a man or a woman. There's plenty of women that cannot just allow their emotions to go wherever, and it has nothing to do with them being women. It's like, this is the situation. You have to respond right now.
Right.
Now, some people have that, and some people don't. Some of these people who don't
And
have
that's
that
called
are
emotional
women.
intelligence.
Right. And some people who don't have it are men.
Right.
That's so, both things are exist, but it's something one has to learn. You know what I'm saying? And it takes some time. It takes some maturity, some growing up, some understanding, going through a few things. Hey, having emotional maturity at 15 might be really hard, but
Right.
you should probably try to master it by 35. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying it's not easy. It's definitely not easy, but between 15 and 35, there needs to be some like lessons going on there, and books and people, and help you developing a foundation that you have emotional intelligence and emotional maturity to learn the tool of suppression when you need to, and then when you get to a place and you can like get on the phone with that person or talk to, you know, your whoever's at home with you, and be able to be like, yo, man, like, listen, grab a bottle of wine. Man,
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what happened today, man. Like, this is, this is gonna be a hard one. Woo. And just let it out. You know what I mean? And just like, I'm glad I had the opportunity to talk with you. Thank you for allowing me to let this out. And now I can process it a little bit better and then try to move on. But I think every human being who has made it from one day to the other has learned to do that. I think those who have maybe not made it, you know what I'm saying, because they got too emotional. You know, you became the deer in the headlights. It's just like, is that truck coming towards me? That's crazy. Like, you better move. I know it, but the lights, it's not, I can't go. Like, if you get
Right.
stuck in the emotion, boom, that's you, right? So I think all of us, all three of us right now have had enough life skills, maybe because we're all native New Yorkers. We've seen a lot of stuff. Things were crazy in the 90s. Things are getting crazier now, that you had to be like, yo, I got to navigate, I got to move. My emotions, I'll do that some other time. Craziness is happening right now. I got to navigate. I got to go through, you know, and then later on think about it. Like, whoa, that was what? Right. But we couldn't stay in our emotions at the time. We had to learn to suppress in some way, you know? So I just think it's a tool. And so when you're like, well, Dre, do you suppress yours? Yeah, I know how to use that tool. I know how to use that tool. And, you know, when I was younger, did I believe in those antiquated notions that you speak of? Yeah, I think I did. And I think I got really, really lucky that one of my mentors was a psychiatrist. And he really helped me with emotional maturity as a young man, and allowed me to be like, so what? You have a penis. What is so you now you're not a human being because you have a penis. So you can't be
Right.
sad because you have a penis. Or he would say a lot of times, okay, so you're penalized for having a penis. Like, okay,
That's good.
you don't have no emotional spectrums. You are penalized. Everybody else get to feel all the entire rainbow of feelings, from sad all the way to happy. They get everything in between. They all get to enjoy the spectrum of emotions, but not you, because you're punished for having a penis. Therefore, you can only be this way. No matter what,
Right.
you're always this way. And you see those cats, and it's like, man, you feel sorry for them, right? Because they always got to be like on gangster or thug mode all the time, never happy. You know, it's a birthday.
Yeah.
Man, birthdays, man, birthdays, whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, so and so mom's died. Oh yeah, man, it's crazy. Mom's died. You know, it's like you can never have emotional maturity, no matter what's going on, happiness in your life, whatever. You just stay on this. I just stay on this. I'm a
Yeah,
hardcore
stoic. You
thug.
got to stay stoic.
Yeah, the whole time it's like, nah, I don't want to be that person. I want to enjoy
Right.
emotions. Let me go through them. I want to, you know, at the end of this whole thing called humanity, called life, I'm able to say, hey, I experienced it and all the emotions that come with it. You know what I mean? I want to experience love. Sometimes I got to experience some hate. Sometimes I experience some sadness, some fun. It's all part of the human journey, man. So, you know, suppress when you need to. Yeah, you're in an emergency. You know, if my apartment come on fire right now, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "What do I do? What do I? Yo, I gotta move. Yo, peace, y'all." And I'm already thinking what I gotta do, right?
Right.
But when it's all out and they put it on and says, "Cool, yo, I gotta now." Yo, everything I had was in there. I don't have anything there. Now I gotta deal with
Right.
the emotions of it, right? At the time, I can't do that, right? So that's the way I feel, brother. I feel like, yo, suppression is a tool, but learning when you can allow yourself to be human, time and place, one should allow themselves the opportunity to be a human being.
I dig that. A couple of thoughts. One, um, we've had this discussion over the years. As you said, you know me since I was a teen, and what's interesting is We view it as a tool. I love that you said that publicly, but a lot of people don't. There are people who, as the term says, wear their emotion on their sleeves. We know today that those people lack emotional intelligence very often, which is fine. But the problem, and this is a new conversation, and I'm just responding to what you said. What I find happens, and I've seen it with myself and also with others. What ends up happening is when you use that tool and people view you as this quote unquote strong person, they now think nothing ever phases you.
Oh no, it's a mistake.
And that's where things become almost detrimental.
Yeah.
Because what happens is people say things like, well, nothing ever phases Jay. People say things like, well, Dre's always going to be good. But things do phase Jay. Dre is not always good, And I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring this topic here, because you had a great point about women, uh, our ancestors going through those things and not having the opportunity to be emotional, having to be stoic, having to put it in their back pocket and just suck it up and keep it moving. But I do think this is a men thing specifically today. I think today more and more we see that, yeah, women are allowed to express whatever they want. And I know women are going to give me some pushback for this, but even in instances, like you said, where it's like, oh, the fire alarm just went off, they're allowed to just bug out and stuff. And we are looked at as like, yeah, okay, grab her and get her out of there. And you got to deal with it later, even if she is freaking out, and she's allowed to freak out, right? But you're not. And what happens is the byproduct of that is now, because you're so quote unquote headstrong, because you're so quote unquote emotionally intelligent, people think you're a fucking robot. You know what I'm saying? I see that very often, again, in my life and in others. I've been called a robot so many times, I've lost count. People are always like, yeah, Jay never shows emotion. I'm like, but that's not true. Like, if you know me, you know I am an emotional person. I just don't wear it on my sleeves. You feel what I'm saying? But if one of y'all start breaking down and crying, I'm not gonna be like, man up, stop crying. You acting like a bitch. No, I'm gonna be like, oh, what's going on? Let's talk about it. You need me to turn off this podcast and come over there? Should we grab a drink? Like, what you need to do? You feel what I'm saying? And the other way around, I've been emotional. I've been fucked up. I've called each of you and been like, hey, I need to get some shit off my chest. Shit hit the fan. Shit is rough right now. But when you're seen as this person who doesn't have public outbursts, it's like, okay, well, that nigga's strong. That's Superman right there. Don't nothing phase Superman. It's like, yeah, but that's not true. Even one of my favorite movies, Remember the Titans, when the dude gets in the car accident, like your example, when my man comes to the hospital and says, hey, you supposed to be Superman. You're not supposed to be hurt like this. You Superman. Because he was the strong leader, the stoic person, all those quote unquote great attributes, right? That's the scene. He comes to the hospital and he's crying. He's like, that's you Superman. You're not supposed to be like this. And so, not saying you're wrong. I think much of what you said is correct. I just wanted to kind of give the other side of it, because yeah, me and we kick it all the time about this type of stuff off pod. It is a tool. It's something that we probably all should use, like you said. But what I see is the byproduct of that is a lot of people feel like, yeah, that's a robot. That's a humanoid. Ain't no emotions there. This person just pick up on whatever. Their moms die, they could just get up and be like, all right, cool, let's go hit the gym. Let's go do whatever we got to do. But the reality is there's just not enough safe spaces, in my opinion, for men to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? If something traumatic happens, I can't just come up on this pod and start crying. They could be like, nigga, what are you doing? Why are you crying on the pod? You're acting like a bitch right now. That's actually the term we hear the most in those moments, right? What's up with you, man? You acting like a bitch. So what's your arm broke? Yeah, we see the bone. Stop acting like a bitch.
Get a Band-Aid and walk it off.
Walk it off. It's like, man, what the
And
hell?
that's like
So
That's like paid in full. Niggas get shot every day, B. You'll be all right.
Exactly. Exactly. So I just wanted to, again, I agree with most of what you said, Dre. And again, we talk about this type of shit all the time. But I think what happens is it's kind of a hypocritical situation, right? Where society says men gotta be this way, but then they also criticize those men. Because why can't you hug it out? Why can't you cry? What's up? You're not emotionally available?
Yeah.
It's like, well, I thought I was supposed to be this strong rock who don't do any of that stuff. What happened?
Yeah, there's definitely
So that's all I wanted to say. I don't disagree. It's not really a
I feel
debate.
you
I
know
just wanted
it's
to
it's
kind of
definitely double standards when it comes to men. I mean, if we just had a show about male double standards, we'd be here all day. But you're just pointing out one of them, and it's like, yeah,
no.
it's like, people want this man to be a robot in certain circumstances, and then you want him to be, super emotional in other circumstances, and
And
that's
and then when's that time?
right,
How you know?
right,
If you've been trained to be a robot, how you know when it's like, all right, you know what? I could bear it all right now.
yeah,
When? How you know?
and see it,
You have trained me to be a robot. Now when I turn into the Incredible Hulk and just
yeah.
now what?
Yeah, and that's when a person doesn't have emotional maturity. So it's like people have to learn that, and it takes a while for a certain cast to learn that. But the other thing is what you're saying is like, yeah, a lot of times men want to create themselves as a myth or a legend, right? You think of the
Mm-hmm.
character Batman, right? It's like if Batman didn't have that suit and he everything Batman could do, I mean Bruce Wayne could do, he could do. But if he just went out in his business suit and started beating people's asses, you're like, who the fuck this guy think he is? I'm not scared
Right.
of you, motherfucker. You just like me, And so
Right.
crime would go nowhere. In order for the shit to work, he has to be more than just human. He has to be this myth, this legend. And
Right.
part of that is, I better not hear you say ow when you get hit out there. Like,
Right.
because then you just a regular dude, right?
Right.
And so
Batman has no limits.
right. So Batman has no limits, right?
Right.
But in order for him to keep going every day, he needs that Alfred. He sometimes in the story when the Joker killed Robin, right? And he was like going crazy. He actually needed like Catwoman. They were like, "Yo, can you do me a favor? Can you like this is not even about the crimes and shit. Just see
Right.
this nigga because he's losing it, right? Like
Right.
he needed like close people as a human being to go out there every day and do that. So that's what like Alfred represents, and people who really know him, the close circle, that's what they
Right.
represent, is that you can just be a human being here and be vulnerable, and we could work things out together. Like these problems, Alfred might see a certain angle that he didn't see, and some blah 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 blah. And so you need. So when, I'm pretty trying to answer your question. It's like, yeah, everyone is not going to see you cry, right? So because you're not going to be like, oh man, this movie is sad. Let me pause it, walk downstairs, stand in the
Right.
middle of the block, and now cry about it because I need everyone
Right.
to see me. But there are people who are like that. It's like, if I'm going to cry about this, hold on. Look,
Right.
I like that's people who just want attention. You are probably all of us here are just going to be like, okay, if the situation calls for it, I'll cry. Dex, I'll cry in front of my daughters, my kids, whatever. But he's not going to go outside, put in his Metro card, go to 42nd Street, Times Square. Now I can cry. Everyone, watch me. Yeah, like no, right. That's quite. You're not going to do. So everyone's not going to see you cry. Only your small circle. So
Right.
people are going to always think you're a robot because you have emotional maturity. Like, yeah, I don't let it all go just in front of you. I'll let it go,
Right.
but I don't do that in front of you, right?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not going to do that in front of my henchmen. Like you henchmen, you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking
Right.
about Batman again, like where even Bane had to let it go for a minute, but he ain't gonna let his henchmen see that. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Right.
yeah, like she's down with me. I've known her like all my life. people who are somewhat initiated, but not my henchmen. Not they got to see me as this big towering dude that could crack necks if you answer the question wrong. You know what I mean? They got to
Right.
see me as that person. So a lot of times this is what men have to be. We have to wear these multiple hats. You know, it's like, yeah, if I'm at the job and I need to be doing this and that, I got to be this dude, right? Like I teach, so my students see me as one way. You know, like, oh, you sensei, like you have all the answers. You're strong as fuck. You can knock anybody the fuck out. If that's the way y'all need to see me, fine, right? But that's not who I am 24 hours a day. You know,
Right.
if I feel something, I feel. You know what I mean? Like this is what I'm feeling, and when I'm around people I can be vulnerable with, I'm around those people I can be vulnerable with. You know, but people gonna always think you're a machine because you're never gonna let just any random regular cat see all your cards. It's just you're just not gonna do
Right.
that. You know, so yeah.
No, well said. I agree, and I love the Batman examples. It's
Yeah.
great. That's great. Any last thoughts, Dex?
Yeah, I'm here.
I hear that.
Enjoying Man Cave Monday
Man
That's
gave
topic.
it. Back in
money.
Monday.
Man Cave Monday.
All right.
That's it. All right. Well, fellas, thank you for joining me. Listeners, viewers, thank you for joining us. We hope y'all enjoyed this, found some kind of value or entertainment. If you got thoughts, leave it in the comments. Don't DM and text us. Ha 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 ha. And we'll see y'all next month.